to Don't Do Disney
Without Us.
My name is Daniel.
And my name is Zach.
And welcome back to our channel. It's a little show we like to do where we talk about all things Disney, including the theme parks, the streaming services, the television networks, the sports ball thing. I don't know. I feel like maybe it should be a New Year's resolution that I actually write out the intro to the show. Maybe.
So that it's the same?
Yeah, so it's the same every time. Anyway, you know what? It is what it is. We like to talk about Disney, and we've been kind of lax lately in putting out an episode, primarily because holiday, right? Stuff going on, people coming in. This is not in any way, shape, or form a job for us. This is just something we like to do. So, yeah, we kind of got a bit tied down by the old holidays, travel, whatnot like that. But it's okay. We're back. And the reason that we're back is because next week, 1 week and 1 day from the day that we're recording this, we will be up at the crack of dawn in the EPCOT parking lot, ready to run the Walt Disney World Marathon Weekend's 10K. So that's going to be the Chippendale 10K. They did release the course the other day, so that we could see exactly what we're going to be running, and Zach was very worried about that. So why?
So we're skipping ahead a little bit because this is my hero of the week. But
you can wait until it ends if you want.
Okay.
Oh, well, then you'll have to wait until the end of the show to find out why Zach was so excited about the course. Anyway,
spoiler alert: if you remember my villain from the last episode, it's the opposite of that.
Yeah, but our last episode was 7 months ago. So I wanted to address this because I don't think we fully addressed this as to how we got into this race. The Walt Disney World Marathon Weekend is one of the weekends that the race sells out very quickly.
I believe it is probably the fastest to sell out.
From what I have, just anecdotally from us trying last year, I feel like Marathon Weekend and Princess Weekend both sell out incredibly fast. Springtime Surprise kind of lingers. I feel like Springtime Surprise, people feel that maybe it's too warm in Florida for that, or it interferes with school schedules or stuff like that. But Wine and Dine, Marathon Weekend, and Princess are all kind of glommed together there in the end of the year, or end of the year, beginning of the year when it's cold. So, but we did not get into the Marathon Weekend when we first tried.
We tried.
Yeah.
We had the 10K in our carts.
Yep.
And then because Run Disney does not secure you a spot until you enter your payment information, click payment, and have a successful payment, things can and will sell out from under you. And that happened. So we switched to the 5K. Yes. And it happened again. So, yeah. We should talk about that sometime, because I feel like I wish they did that with virtual queues instead of what they're obviously doing with virtual queues. Anyway, that's not important. It all has to do with on the back end, how they send things out to people. But how did we get in there? We did not get into the Marathon Weekend for several weeks afterwards. And that is because I did some digging around, and almost every Run Disney race does have charity sponsors of that race. So there are not just the primary sponsor that is on the big marquee, but there's also a bunch of smaller charities that are also using the Run Disney races, or helping with the Run Disney races. Anyway, I found that Autism Speaks had some 10K spots left for them, and so that we're actually going to be running this race for Autism Speaks. It works exactly the same way as if we had registered for it ourselves. The only difference is that we had to meet a fundraising goal for Autism Speaks. And so we didn't pay for the race. We met this fundraising goal, and then they paid for the race for us. But other than that, I think Autism Speaks is going to be on our bib. And, we got some cool shirts and stuff that they sent us. So, technically, as part of our fundraising commitment, which was $700 each, mm-hmm. we each paid $125 of our own money to kickstart it. So we technically paid for the race, but we actually paid less than if we would have registered through Run Disney themselves. Yeah, because I think the 10K was going for like 150 at the time. So anyway, regardless, that is always nice. If you are someone who has tried to get into a Run Disney race before and you haven't, check that out. At the bottom of every race page, there are a bunch of different charities that is associated with that race, and go to their websites and see what they have available. So it's been a great experience with Autism Speaks. I'm looking forward to it. Not only did we get shirts and a headband and a t-shirt, so we got a racing shirt and a t-shirt. They're throwing us a little party next Friday.
Yeah, they're doing a meet and greet together at the patio at Coronado
with Mickey snacks and free food and stuff like that. So I mean, it's been really fun doing this with Autism Speaks. So we're looking forward to doing that. Okay. Also coming up is the brand new Disney race that just got announced. We haven't talked to you about that. It's going to be a Halloween race in Disneyland, and it's going to be Wine and Dine has traditionally been the first race of the season. This will be the new first race of the season, is the Disneyland. What was it called? Halloween time?
Yeah, just the Halloween half marathon weekend, I believe.
So that opens in February. Registration for that opens in February, so we are hoping to get into that. So,
we are hoping to combine that with an Oogie Boogie Bash trip, assuming they are holding Oogie Boogie that early, but I don't see why not.
That early? October is like late. Disney, Halloween starts in August, so I feel like Oogie Boogie Bash will definitely be going on in October. That's not a question. Let's see. We went to EPCOT.
We did on the day that Luminous premiered, December 6th.
No, 5th, I think.
5th?
Yeah. Sounds right. We went there for the opening of Luminous Symphony of Us. I don't know why I paused there, because there is no colon. It's just Luminous Symphony of Us.
Luminous, the Symphony of Us. There's no colon, and that's dumb, and I hate it. And I will be putting a colon in it whenever I type it. Screw you, Disney.
I feel like I liked it. I have not come down publicly on either side of, love it, hate it. Well, first of all, I've never hated a Disney nighttime show. There have been some that have not been my most favorite, but I've never hated a nighttime show at Disney. I feel like it needs to grow on me. I need to see it a couple more times.
We have only seen it the one time. And caveat, we saw it mostly through someone's phone camera lens on a tripod right in front of us, which was really annoying. But it was the first night, so it was filled with every Disney vlogger and influencer and media person. So
and it made no sense for her camera to be there, because it wasn't there prior to the show. So, it's one of those last minute things that suddenly pops up. She was at the fence. She was at the fence of the World Showcase, and there was nothing in front of her. She didn't need to have her camera up above her head. You know what I'm saying? It's
the camera equivalent of the last second putting your kid on your shoulders when you're standing in the middle of Main Street.
But what was your yay or nay on Luminous, or wait, or?
So I like it, but it feels like a successor to Harmonious, but also a lesser version of Harmonious. I've seen some people saying it's like Illuminations and Harmonious had a baby. I don't honestly remember Illuminations. The last time I saw it was when it finally died. Mm-hmm. The only thing I remember about it is the globe spinning for what feels like an eternity. But yeah, we need to see it more times and actually be able to really see it. The effect at the end with the pyro tower is very good. The pyrotechnics in Luminous are better than they were in Harmonious.
I feel like they took the barges from Harmonious and took off all of the really temperamental pieces of it. Harmonious had a lot of moving parts that were constantly breaking that had to be fixed or whatever. These are barges with firework launchers and water cannons on them. And those are things that Disney has done well for a very long time across numerous parks. So I feel like it was just a return back to, let's do what we're good at. Like we went out on a limb there for Harmonious, and I loved Harmonious. But there were a few times that we saw Harmonious where something wasn't working right or whatever.
It had a tendency, especially during its latter days
Yeah.
to run in B mode, because those barges were not meant to have that much water cascading down upon them all the time, et cetera, et cetera. So, I mean, it feels like they learned a lot of their structural lessons from Harmonious and applied them to Luminous. I just don't think right now that the end product is as good.
Yeah. But we'll see. We'll see what it is there.
And I've seen some people, including we've talked to some friends who feel like the section in the middle drags a little bit, and that the section specifically on loss and death feels a little too heavy for a Disney nighttime spectacular. Do you have any thoughts on that?
I don't think that's. I mean, look at Fantasmic, right? Fantasmic has, an overwhelming nightmare. It's like that. That's in the script, right? There's always the villain section. There's always the, this EPCOT doesn't have a villain section. So I feel like the lost section was, but it's supposed to be the Symphony of Us, right? From birth to death, like our journey through time, right? So from birth to death, our journey through our lifetime, and the different stages that we, at different times where we feel alone and when we feel surrounded by other people. And yeah, I don't think it was too much though. I feel like that song is sad because they play that song from Toy Story 3, and it is a very sad song. But I feel like more people are there. I feel like they're just sad about Toy Story 3, not so much the show.
Crap, I was going to say something and I forgot what I was going to say.
I don't know. If I did know it, I would be psychic, and that would be amazing. We also that day that we went to see the Luminous, that opening day was also the opening day of the, what do they call them? What are the official
World Celebration Gardens?
The World Celebration Gardens
and Dreamers Point.
We did not see Dreamers Point because it was opening day of Dreamers Point, and there was a humongous line.
We also didn't see the gardens really because it was night and it was busy. There were lots of people.
What I saw of them, I really liked. Lots of seating, lots of shade, lots of...
both things that EPCOT needs a hell of a lot more of, especially in the World Showcase. Please, Disney, please.
I feel like the soundtrack was a little loud, but that could have just been opening day or, something that they'll adjust over time, because it was difficult to have a conversation with the person sitting right next to you because there was very loud music going on.
I remember what I was going to say about Luminous.
Yes?
I think they overdid it on the narration. The narration is very heavy-handed.
I feel like that is a direct reply to Harmonious. Harmonious did not... So a lot of people didn't get the story of Harmonious. And so I felt like they kind of felt butthurt about that and decided that, okay, fine, we'll tell you what the story is as we go along, right? Disney is really, really big on stories, but a lot of times they don't tell you the story. Like there is a story for every attraction, but it's not necessarily a story that is told in the attraction, like explicitly, right? So it's more to like you kind of get it as we go along. Through the attraction?
Yes. Yeah. I am excited to see the World Celebration Gardens during the daytime. We haven't been back to EPCOT since because we are blocked out right now. But from all the pictures I've seen, they're very beautiful. They're more beautiful at night, but just I'm glad. I'm glad that small portion of the middle is done. There's still plenty to do, but at least you can walk all the way through now.
Yeah, when you look at it from the monorail tracks around there, that's maybe a third of the space isn't open. There's still 2/3 of that space that will be opening with the new building and the new areas. So if it feels a little small, because I've heard that people say that it feels really small, but it's like it's not.
It's not the entirety of the center.
It's not. It's just not done yet. Also, weirdly, our friend of the show, Dirk Libby, ran an article about all of the problems with the garden, and in that article they listed exactly one problem. So it was like, I feel like saying all was a bit crazy there, but they felt like there wasn't enough colors in it, which, hello, it's a garden, it's Florida, not exactly known for having colorful plants at this time of year that you would want to leave outside. So
a lot of the country, we just returned from a trip up north to see my family in the Midwest, and a lot of the country right now is brown and dead.
Yeah, I feel like you would be judging, we were just in Arkansas, so it would be like us judging Arkansas based solely off of our trip in December.
And Missouri and Illinois.
which I'm sure is very lush and green in the springtime. And when Flower and Garden rolls around and all those gorgeous flowers go out at EPCOT, I expect the World Celebration Garden to be overflowing with colors. So we'll see what happens there. The other thing that we did, just kind of zipping us through here, the other thing that we did was we went and saw the Holiday Hoop-Dee-Doo Revue. So that was a DVC only show that they did. And I was kind of annoyed that it was a DVC only because we're not DVC, but then I saw that each DVC member could have 11 guests with them. So we reached out to our DVC friends and begged to get put on somebody's party list there. So we went and saw it. If you missed it, and if you, like me, thought, I really wanted to see the Holiday Hoop-Dee-Doo Revue show. Yes, I know it's Hoop-Dee-Doo. But, you know, I didn't know a DVC member. You didn't miss anything. Holiday portion of it was,
it was essentially the normal Hoop-Dee-Doo Revue.
Yes.
With a few Christmas songs added in and
garland.
Some decorations.
Yeah. Garland. And instead of singing Clementine, actually, no, they did sing Clementine, but it was like, instead of some of the other folk, O Shenandoah or whatever folk songs that they sang, they swapped them out with Christmas songs. So yeah, it was fun, but it wasn't a holiday show. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like it wasn't like a complete holiday makeover.
If you're sad you missed it, you didn't miss anything.
Yeah.
But thank you to our friend Andrew and his family for taking us along. Indeed. We still owe you money for that, by the way. So if you happen to watch this,
please let us know.
Please get us your payment info.
They also gave us DVC ornaments for this. And now we have ill-gotten DVC ornaments on our tree.
Now we have to go sit through a presentation and get a gift card and tell them we never plan on buying in.
Holy moly, it's busy, you wrote here at number 4. What is that all about?
As you might know, it's the holiday season at Walt Disney World.
I was unaware of this.
And just because we are blocked out, we like to play a little game called What's the Highest Wait Time at Walt Disney World right now?
Yes.
Over the past several days, we have done so.
Yes. I think the highest was today. Today was the highest that I'd seen it in a long time. 280 minutes today for Flight of Passage and 210 for Slinky Dog Dash. So it's like, that's some real numbers there. That's like 3 hours and 20 minutes or so. That's crazy.
We are approaching Flight of Passage just having opened wait times.
Yeah.
And I understand that I've been having a conversation with some folks on the site formerly known as Twitter about that today. I understand that there are a lot of people who can only go during this time of year. Mm-hmm. I feel for those people because I cannot imagine it being a pleasant experience with waits as long as they are and crowds as high as they are. And no, thank you.
I don't know how you would know how high the crowds are, but see, there was a joke. It's not like Disney's alone in this, right? This is not something that, it's not a uniquely Disney thing. I think someone posted a screenshot the other day of the Grinch encounter at Universal. Is that what they call it? Meet the Grinch. Mm-hmm. It was 420-minute standby. So yeah, it's everywhere. It's busy. It's the holidays, and that's what's, to be expected. When I see TikToks and shorts from people at Disney during the holidays, no one's complaining. They all seem to be having fun. So, I think we're a tad spoiled because we can come back another day when it's not busy.
Right.
So.
And I mean, if you are there, if this is the only time of year you can go, I hope you are having the absolute best possible time and that you're creating happy memories and the cast members are going out of their way to make your trip memorable.
Yes. And we apologize for the rain on Christmas.
Yes. I mean, we don't control the weather and neither does Disney. Sorry.
One of the things that you had brought up was that Genie Plus had sold out for a couple of days.
Yes, Genie Plus sold out at Hollywood Studios yesterday, which was its first time ever selling out there, as well as today. And today, it's also sold out at Animal Kingdom for the first time ever. It did not sell out at Magic Kingdom or Epcot. The multi-park option, because at least one of the parks sold out, was sold out as well. But there were still 2 parks where you could buy Genie Plus.
And other people are pointing out that Genie Plus costs $40 during this peak time. However, just for funsies, we looked up what the Universal Express Pass would be during this week. And what was it for the...
Tomorrow, Friday, which has since sold out, the Unlimited Express was $389.
No, forget about Disney doesn't have an unlimited.
Okay.
So what's just the Universal Express?
$339.99.
So
per person per ticket.
Yeah. So if you're upset about Disney Genie Plus costing $40, you can always go down the street and pay $300 and something at Universal.
Frankly, and this is a discussion for another time, I think Genie Plus needs to be far more expensive than it is, because part of the problem with Genie Plus is everyone has it because it's relatively cheap.
I don't know. I don't think that everyone has it just by the fact that it doesn't sell out that often.
Enough people have it.
People have it. There was an article that I read, just because we're talking about Universal and Disney and kind of comparing the two of them. There's an article that ran recently, and I want to make sure I'm giving credit where credit is due. This is on the Disney Tourist blog, but the article was called, "Is Universal Beating Disney World?"
Beating in air quotes.
Beating in air quotes. And I'll leave a link to it in the comments.
The description, the show notes?
No, because you can't leave it in the description, because if you leave a link to something off of YouTube, then they downrank you. So, but you can leave it in the comments. So in our first comment, I'll leave you a link.
I will pin a comment.
There you go. Anyway, the story made some good points. Now, honestly, I feel like they made some kind of really opinionated points in here that I feel didn't really have a lot of data backing them up. But the points that they did make, I just kind of wanted to reiterate when we talk about, the difference between Disney and Universal, because we went to a couple of Christmas parties where people were talking about these things. And the recurring conversation seems to be that Disney needs to do something. Disney needs to do something to address Epic Universe, which is going to be opening in 2025. Disney needs to get off their butt and do something. And this article draws a really good point here, which is Universal's opening a brand new theme park. There's not much you can do to compete with that. You can't really, throw in a new attraction and compete with a brand new theme park. A brand new theme park, people are going to theme park, right? People are going to go see the brand new theme park. It's going to be the thing. But historically, if you look at the attendance numbers, every single time a new theme park has opened in this area, all theme park numbers have gone up the following year. So I don't think Disney sees this as a problem. It's like, okay, let Universal have their year of bringing in even more people to the area, and we will get our share of that. And then as we do the new Big Thunder expansion in the coming decade or so, we will, reap the benefits of that. So I feel like Disney's in a great spot right now. They are still, despite what people would have you believe, Disney is still, the Walt Disney World is still the number one visited tourist attraction in the universe. So,
In the universe?
In the universe.
What about the multiverse?
And there's probably at least one universe where Universal is
Number one.
So, anyway, so if you get a chance, check that out over on Disney Tourist blog. And I think that's pretty much it. That's all we had to talk about. We are going to be running our race. I'll try to take my GoPro this time. I've got it all charged up and ready to go.
Ready to go, pro?
Ready to go, pro. So we'll try to take some footage, throw it up on the YouTube channel here, and let you guys see the Walt Disney World Marathon Week. I can't talk suddenly. It's like Walt Disney World Marathon Weekend. Okay, let's get to our heroes and villains, and then we'll let you go. Let you go back to enjoying your holiday, because I'm sure that you stopped whatever you were doing just to listen. This is an odd number, so we start with villains, right?
Yes.
My villain is the Festival of the Holidays, which runs at Epcot annually for about 36 hours. It starts on Tuesday and it closes on a Friday. It's the blink and you miss it festival. And the sad thing is there's a lot of really good stuff at the Festival of the Holidays that I would have loved to have done but just with everything else going on, it's only there for a month. And it's very quick.
Festival of the Holidays runs from basically right after Thanksgiving to right after Christmas around the New Year.
Yeah.
And we're blocked out for the last 2 weeks of the year. Yeah. So there's a good 2 weeks where we can go to the Festival of the Holidays. And if you don't see or do everything that you want to do in those 2 weeks, guess what? You get to buy a day ticket.
Yeah. So, and I feel like, Food and Wine is great, but it doesn't have to run that long. I mean, we could live without, the tail end of October of Food and Wine if you want to give us the Festival of the Holidays. Halloween is a holiday. So we could do that. So anyway, that's my villain, Festival of Holidays.
My villain is Festival of the Arts.
Oh my God. We're coming for them now.
Exact same reason. It is a month, maybe a month and a half. I haven't done the actual math.
Right.
Both holidays and Festival of the Arts, or farts, need more time. Both Flower and Garden and Food and Wine run for far, far too long. Neither of those festivals needs to be as long as they are. Cut 2 weeks each from both of them and give them to the other festivals.
January 21st to February 19th.
Yeah, so not even a month.
No, just a little over a month, 12th to 19th. Okay. So a month and a week, so 5 weeks.
I thought you said 21st to the 19th.
No, so January 12th to February 19th, 2024. Yeah, it is. It's really short.
And it's my favorite festival. It's also the festival that's the most dangerous for my wallet, but
I feel like the Flower and Garden is the right size. Like just make Food and Wine the same size as Flower and Garden, and then you can extend.
I feel like Flower and Garden starts in March and goes till July. That's a long time.
I mean, let's be honest. There are holdovers from each festival, right? I mean, it's like the festival booths have some of the same food and drinks at each of the festivals, so it's not like. But I get it. Anyway.
But yes, I would love to go. I mean, I go to farts as much as I can because it's around for such a short period of time, but I would love to actually see and do a lot of the things at holidays, but we just can't.
Yeah. All right. My hero of the week is our waiter at the Hoop-Dee-Doo Revue for the holiday show. I don't remember his name. I think I wrote it down. I think it was George or something like that. Super fun waiter. We had 5 of us at our table, and he was very engaging with us, and we had a great time. And he took good care of us. So yeah. So just shout out to you. Cast compliment to you, which I should have probably done on the app.
My hero is the upcoming 10K course. Because my issue with the Wine and Dine 10K was it was 3/4 roadway and 1/4 park, and no, not fun at all.
Yeah. I think the other thing you're really going to like about this course is Wine and Dine was right before the time change, so we did the entire race in the dark. As the sun comes up at around 6 a.m. or a little before 6 a.m., so we will get the sunrise on our course this time.
Right.
So
there's only a good 1.5 miles, maybe 2 total of this 6-mile race that we're running that is on the roadways surrounding EPCOT. The majority of it is through EPCOT and around the boardwalk. So I will take that.
Yeah. And I think this is the exact same course. Well, very close to the same course that I took during the Springtime Surprise last year, which was a great course.
Yes,
so.
I think they flip-flop courses. Like they do one set of courses for one weekend and then they flip to another course and then just go back and forth. So I think we just had bad luck for Wine and Dine.
If you are watching us on YouTube, we do have an audio-only version of this podcast found anywhere where fine podcasts are served. It is Don't Do Disney Without Us. Just look for Don't Do Disney Without Us. Actually, I think on Spotify for a while, you could search for Gay Disney, and we were like one of the first ones to show up on their podcast, but I don't know if that's still the case or not. However, if you are listening to us audio only and you're like, hey, I would like to watch them on their, see their faces while they talk about these incredibly interesting things, then you can always go to our YouTube channel where we do post this podcast as a video. Also on Spotify, if you go listen to us on Spotify proper instead of because we're hosted at Spotify. It's weird. But if you go to Spotify proper and listen to us, you can also see the video version of the podcast there. So just wanted to let you know that. Also, if you would like to send us an email, please do so. Our email address is don'tdodisney@gmail.com. And we're on all of the socials, on X and on
Facebook
Insta,
and Instagram and
all
Blue Sky and all Threads.
We're like MasterCard. We're everywhere you want to be. We're usually WDW Aristocrats at most of those places. So just look for those. Also listed down below in the doobly-doo.
Why are you yelling?
Because, I'm excited. I'm trying to get some energy. Dolly Parton said, start off, making them happy and leave making them happy. And it doesn't matter so much what happens in the middle. It's just, you got lots of energy at the end of the show. That's why all the big numbers are at the end of the show, Zach. It's like the whole howdy-do thing. But we've reached the end of this show, and all that is left for me to do is to say, nay, plead with you, please, 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 don't do Disney
without us, and we'll see you next year.